Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. We have a lot of very interesting news today. Crypto startup known as Trust Token has launched its second stablecoin, this one pegged 1-to-1 to the British pound. Revealing the news exclusively to CoinDesk on Tuesday, the firm said its true GBP token is now available for trading on over-the-counter desks, including Alameda Research, Bluefire Capital, Galosis Capital, and QCP Capital. The firm is working to make it available for general trading on cryptocurrency exchanges very soon. True GBP will trade under the ticker symbol TGBP and will eventually be backed by GBP funds held in the US escrow account. Raphael Kosman, the startup's co-founder and head of engineering and product, told CoinDesk, purchase and trade of True GBP will be available like any other ERC20 token and is compatible with all ERC20 wallets. Customers who want to purchase or redeem through the Trust Token app will need to pass the normal KYC, Know Your Customer, AML, anti-money laundering requirements in accordance with our MSB, their money service business license. Another one. This is at least number 183 at this point, the amount of stablecoins that we have floating around out there. I'm still waiting to see. I guess we have a couple of years for that. I mean, we've had news before that banks have shown that they are open to the idea of using stablecoins, but no banks at this point, at least to my knowledge that I can remember at this point, have come out exclusively saying, hey, we like stablecoins and we are going to be using them. However, there is just about a stablecoin or two, or like 25 in the US dollars case, that are pegged to fiat currencies for all the major fiat currencies around the world. And this is yet another one that we have that is now pegged to the UK pound. Let's move on. Next up, this one I think is actually very important. San Juan Mercantile Bank and Trust International SJMBT, a new Puerto Rico-based institution catering to traders of cryptocurrency, has opened for business. Announced on Monday, the SJMBT has accepted its first client deposit, licensed last month as an international financial entity, IFE, by Puerto Rico's Office of Commission of Financial Institutions, OCIF. The bank is a unit of Mercantile Group Holdings, MGH, which also owns San Juan Mercantile Exchange, a soon-to-be-launched institutional-grade electronic trading platform for digital assets. The bank will provide custody and settlement services for both fiat and crypto traded on the exchange. SJMBT itself is not insured by the FDIC, but a spokesperson told CoinDesk it will place clients' deposits at corresponding banks that are. Similarly, customers' digital assets will be held at approved digital asset custodians. The spokesperson would not name any of the bank's correspondents or custodians, nor its initial clients. Keeping custody and trading under the same roof will bring certain benefits, MGH said. For example, the exchange will take into account customer balances on deposits at the bank when settling trading limits, enabling the bank to settle trades in real time. What's important here, without going too much further, is that we have, this has to be number 3, 4 or something like that, 5 maybe, of another bank that's opening up that is not exclusively for cryptocurrency traders, but that is friendly to cryptocurrency traders. We've been talking about this for a while in many countries, and also specifically more so in India, where it is very difficult to get an actual bank account to be able to trade cryptocurrencies or buy and sell or anything like that. We've had situations before, and I mean, I was going to say it's nice that banks are warming up to us, but they're only warming up to the cryptocurrency space because they figured out a way to kind of make money from it. But before, and even more so, I guess even now as well, it's difficult to open up a bank account that is tied to a cryptocurrency anything. We had situations before in 2017 and 2018 where people were trying to buy cryptocurrencies from Binance or Coinbase, and the moment that it appeared on their bank statement, their accounts got shut down or frozen. Should not happen. It is happening, but it is nice to hear that we do have other people out there who are trying to make sure that this isn't so much of an issue, because you should logically, once again, this is why we have cryptocurrencies, you should logically be able to do with your own money as you so please, because it is your own money that you worked hard for to get. However, that's not the world that we live in. It will be in about 10 years, but for now, it's nice to hear that we have some allies somewhere who are trying to opening up. This is what, yeah, whatever. I was going to go on a whole rant. The rant would have been, I'm going to squeeze it down very small. It gets me annoyed when so many people who have so much money in the cryptocurrency space, not traders, I mean as far as like people who are integrating things and who are so and so who are buying up other websites that they have no need to buy. As you can start your own bank and help other cryptocurrency customers around the entire world, but they're not doing that. And that's, I guess, I'm going to stop my rant right there. Anyway, nice to hear that we do have people who understand that there is a need for this, and they are opening banks to be able to help people who need help. Let's move on. Next up, going to breeze over this one. There's a, I don't know who the people are. They released a new animated series on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Bitcoin and Friends. This is not paid advertising. It randomly appeared on my, like, hey, you should watch this type thing. And I clicked on it. It is not for kids. Let me throw that out there right now. If you have children and you plan on watching it with your children, don't do that, because it is very adult-like, especially the first like 5 minutes. Gets pretty intense. However, it is kind of cool. I think it's actually quite interesting. There's like a part where Vitalik Buterin shows up, and it's just kind of epic. Anyway, right. I thought this is kind of cool. I always like supporting and helping other people in the cryptocurrency space. I have no idea, like I said, who made this, but I love the idea of a TV show that involves cryptocurrencies. And it seems like the kind of show that would eventually be adopted onto like Adult Swim, like 2 years down the line. It would, anyway, yes, if you have the time, it's like a full length as well as like 23, 24 minutes. It's kind of insane. But definitely watch it, because I think there's supposed to be more episodes of this coming out as well. Kind of cool. Next up, Ripple, a lending settlement software for cross-border payments, has become a founding member of the International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, or NATBA. Is it maybe INATBA? Whatever. INATBA provides a forum for organizations with interest in digital ledger technology to interact with policymakers and regulators. The initiative is successfully combining big players and international voices with adversaries, and competitors alike under one roof to tackle the many challenges that DLT, blockchain, and cryptocurrency adoption present for government. CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, said, "It's an honor and a privilege for us to be one of the founding members of the International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications. This really is a pivotal time for the DLT industry. It's critical that as an industry we come together and engage with regulators and governments globally." Here's the actual tweet for it. Happened about a day or two ago. "The association has 4 major goals: positive communications with public authorities and regulators, global models of infrastructure governance, for blockchain and other DLT, development and adoption of interoperability guidelines and standards, development of sector-specific guidelines for blockchain and distributed ledger technology." Pretty much, for those who didn't get that, it pretty much comes down to the people who are willing to accept that we don't want regulation, but it is unavoidable at this point. So instead of turning your back to regulators and having them kick you in the neck, just kind of say, here's what we're doing. We're trying to be compliant, and this is just how we are. Here's the actual website for the INATBA. I'm just going to call it INATBA. It sounds kind of cooler. And the most interesting part right here is if you actually go to the organizations or the people who are a part of INATBA, it gets kind of interesting, because you have some major banks around here. You have Blockchain Italia, Blockchain Republic. You have Börse Stuttgart, the people who just created their own cryptocurrency exchange, like the actual stock exchange, if I'm not mistaken, in Germany, who just made their own cryptocurrency exchange. You have the Cardano Foundation. You have CashLink, CoinArmy, Consensus, Deutsche Börse, Deutsche Telekom, Eclipse, Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, which is also gigantic. You have Gnosis, you have IBM, you have IOTA Foundation, you have L'Oreal. I mean, go for it. You have Ledger, you have Maker. Where are the other ones? You have Ripple, obviously. And you also have Swift is also part of this as well. Bitfury and Volksbank, which is another big bank in Germany, but very interesting to see. It's always interesting to see that these organizations are always, or typically sometimes, full of names that you would not expect to care about cryptocurrencies or blockchain. Like L'Oreal is probably the last name I expected to see on this. Anyway, kind of cool. You normally wouldn't expect Cardano, IOTA, and Ripple to. Oh yeah. Also, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Swift is also part of this as well. Kind of crazy that they're all part of the same organization. But yeah, let's move on. So this has been a conversation that's been going around for maybe forever, since crypto exchanges kind of got started, but it's kind of heating up at the moment. I'm going to read through it, not all of it, but you'll definitely understand a little bit of kind of what's happening. Tor Demeester, the founding partner of Adamant Capital, spoke about Bitcoin exchanges being full reserve banks during an interview with Stefan Livera. During the interview, Livera brought up an old article written by Demeester titled, "Why Bitcoin is the Petroleum of Our Day." In this article, Demeester has suggested what customers would demand in the future, including flexibility and control, deposit banking with high transparency, lending and borrowing brokerage as a separate service, 100% predictable monetary policy, and anti-fragility. On this, Demeester was asked whether he saw a future with Bitcoin full reserve banking. He said, "Yeah, I think there's going to be this incredible tension between, on the one hand, full reserve banking, on the one hand, the desire to go fractional, a fractional reserve banking. People trust you as an entity, as a bank, with thousands of Bitcoin, and the only thing you can do is just sit there and stare at them and charge them a little fee." Demeester further stated that the chances of people withdrawing 80% of their assets was pretty low, and because of this, entities will start lending out some of the coins to make an extra return, while they, in turn, pay depositors an interest rate. For those who have no idea what I just said right there, what's happening is that we have in the cryptocurrency space a very interesting thing starting to form. While the cryptocurrency space has I mentioned many times before, people think I'm lying or they think I'm spreading FUD or whatever the case might be. The original idea for the cryptocurrency space was for us to get completely away from banks or institutions, what have you. That idea is completely dead. It's in the water. No one cares about it anymore because the mathematical and financial saviors that we have been given have been, once again, has been the former banking system that we tried to get away from. You may have noticed, I said in 2018 as well, it's very interesting that the idea of us building up our own financial world, financial system, getting away from all the other old ones, was a thing for quite a long amount of time. And then in 2018, the idea that we had pushed into everyone's head was that we needed an ETF, we needed Bitcoin futures, we needed physical Bitcoin futures, we needed so-and-so, we needed an ETN, we needed an ETP, we needed all these things in order for crypto to move. We needed regulations, we needed all these other things, and we needed, interestingly enough, as well, like I was just talking about over here, is that we needed banks to be able to allow us to give them our money, to be able to allow them to keep our accounts open when we're trying to buy cryptocurrencies. Right. So a part of all of this, what's happening right now, and I spoke about this for quite a long, it's happening. I kept on saying that I was pretty sure that banks were buying up cryptocurrencies, banks were mining cryptocurrencies, and then we had a sprinkle of news around 2018 that certain banks were getting into it, certain banks were doing this. There was also some type of a convention around early 2018 where there was a bank who, like, they had like a desk or a table at some sort of conference, and they were showing their, like, one of the little mini Bitcoin miners. They were like, yeah, we've been doing this for the past couple of years. And I was like, everyone, this is happening. This is going to start being a thing. And I said that the next step that they were going to announce openly was that banks, that you'd be able to deposit your cryptocurrencies with them. And then the next step after that, which we still do not have from actual major banks, and I think it's going to happen sometime this year, is that they're going to start giving us pretty much debit and credit cards against cryptocurrencies that we may own, that we may not own, however they plan on doing this. Part of the issue is that the point of cryptocurrencies is, and more so Bitcoin, is that you cannot create more Bitcoin than there already is. This is why there's always a huge amount of drama and problems with prices and stuff like that whenever Bitcoin ends up having like a major fork. Bitcoin fell down in price when Bitcoin Cash came out. Bitcoin fell down even further when Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's Vision came out, because it destroys the idea of the entire 21 million model. Tying into that right here, what a lot of people are very afraid of for the future of Bitcoin, and people say this isn't possible, you can't do this, but it is. I can have, how do I state this? When you have banks start to get into the cryptocurrency space, like it says over here, all you can do is charge them a little fee. Banks are used to making money off of debt, and this is how the world banking system kind of works. It's just how things are, how they're made. It should not be this way, but this is kind of just how things are. One second. So what a lot of people are now coming out forward and saying is that the next step of all of this is that when banks realize that they can get into the cryptocurrency game, they can trade it back and forth, they can so and so and so and make money, that's great, but they won't be able to make the billions of dollars that they've been making before. So what they're going to end up doing is that they're going to start lending out people's cryptocurrencies, because the idea is there's a very little chance that 80% or people in general will be taking out 80% of their assets, because people want to have their money safe inside of a bank or safe inside of somewhere else where they know that it won't be stolen or destroyed or whatever the case might be. So when you don't take out your money, banks will simply start lending the cryptocurrencies that you already have to other people, and then you will get an interest rate based on the amount of money that you give to them. This is exactly how money kind of works out now. When you have your money inside of a bank, they lend out that money to do whatever they kind of do, what they want with it at the end of the year. You then end up getting a 0.5% because they go, okay, thank you, we made a couple million off of your money, here's a couple pennies for you. The problem with cryptocurrencies is you can't mimic Bitcoin. You can't, have a Bitcoin in your hand, it's not physical, but like, you get what I'm saying, and kind of say, here's 1,000 extra Bitcoin. The problem with the banking system is that you actually can't do that. There are certain things where you can say, well, I only have 100 Bitcoin, but I assume that everyone, that the 100 people who have their Bitcoin with me aren't going to take out an entire Bitcoin at the exact same time. So I'm going to tell other people that I actually have more Bitcoin than I actually have with me. And this is how you, in turn, in a way, you increase the supply of Bitcoin that's actually out there. You lower the value of it. You can do, there's about 1,000 things we can go into, but this is kind of what this kind of all means right here. You can pretty much, it's very difficult because it's something that shouldn't be possible, but banks are already trying to start to do stuff like this. It says, however, the challenged phase here was the absence of a central bank that was ready to be the lender of last resort and bail out the banks. The minister went on to state that things can escalate pretty quickly, adding that there would be a lot of risk if people started to withdraw their coins from exchanges over events such as proof of keys. That's really why trying to emphasize audits of Bitcoin exchanges and trying to build tools that make it easier for exchanges to audit reserves in a way that still preserves their customer confidentiality, because my gosh, there's just a lot to unpack. It's difficult to have a situation where banks are allowed to do things like this, which we're pretty sure that they're going to be able to end up doing, pretty much stating that they have more than they actually have. And should we have another situation like we had before earlier this year, where we had something called proof of keys, where everyone was kind of encouraged to take their cryptocurrencies off of different exchanges to see if the cryptocurrency exchanges actually had their money on there. If that actually ends up happening with banks, and banks have no central bank to go to, like you can't run to Bitcoin and say, hey, I need more Bitcoin. We need more Bitcoin to bail us out. This then creates a very diabolical loop, because I don't know, it's just a lot to talk about. The point after all of this is, there's now a discussion going on, and I don't think that there is going to be a readily available solution, because banks are definitely going to do this. They're going to get caught up in this. People are going to realize that they don't have as much cryptocurrency as they should have, and it's going to lead to a lot of adverse economic situations that Bitcoin was created to kind of prevent. And this is why, once again, it is important for everyone to learn how to control their own private keys, because if it's going to happen, not even if, and there's going to be a bank around the world that's going to do this. They're going to start lending out cryptocurrencies as if they really had them, and they don't have them, and people are going to try and get all their money out of it, and the banks are going to tell people, no, you can't have your money, you can't have your cryptocurrencies, because so and so and so, the stipulations in the contract that you signed, you have no control over your money. We have control over your money because we hold your private keys. On top of this as well, Andreas Antonopoulos, about a week and some change ago, also mentioned, he said that Coinbase is a bank, which it is. And I mentioned that before in 2018 as well. People said, you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm so tired of you just spouting out stuff. And I knew this because Coinbase applied, when the Coinbase was applying for all of their security paperwork and stuff like that to be able to list securities and to list so and so's and to be able to add XRP and all these other coins that could potentially have been securities. In that filing as well, they were also trying to get a banking license, and I can only assume after a year and some change that they probably definitely have their own banking license. And this is why if you use Coinbase or check their website out, you can see a lot of things. It's very, I want to say bank-like. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but you kind of get exactly what I'm saying. There are a lot of restrictions as to what you can and cannot do. There are so many things as far as anti-money laundering, know your customer. You can't take your money out on this. You can only take out a certain amount of money unless you tell us exactly who you are. And that's only going to accelerate, and this is why I think that Coinbase is one of the largest crypto exchanges in the entire world, is because they've positioned themselves to be, they may not look like it because it's for cryptocurrencies, but they are the largest, I guess next to Binance, cryptocurrency bank that we have in the entire world. And this is why whenever you see things happening at different conferences, or like they're on like a panel with like banks and stuff like that, it's, you know, Coinbase is usually sitting next to them because they are their own bank. This is why Coinbase has garnered so much attention, because they have done what other companies are now trying to do. Yeah, I mean, not to end it on a doomy, gloomy note, it's more so of a, just keep in mind where all of this is going. The idea is to kind of go forwards and not really go backwards. And I think this is exactly where we're heading. It's very easy to be able to, I don't like the word brainwash, but to be able to convince people that they need something that they actually don't need. And this is why I had such a huge problem in 2018 that prices weren't moving and prices were going down, because the entire rhetoric was that we needed an ETF, we needed an ETP, we needed an ETM, we needed the SEC or the CFTC to hold our hand and give us guidance. And without them, crypto prices had nowhere to go except for down. And eventually, when crypto becomes large enough, and this is why I also said it last year as well, I have a very strong feeling. The reason why we're not hearing so much about cryptocurrencies as much anymore on the television, regardless of the prices going down, we even know that they're like, the infrastructure has built up 15 to 20 times around us, is that crypto is no longer for normal people. This is how I felt for at least a year and some change now. Crypto is for the elite. And you and your friends and your family are not going to start to see advertisements at your bank and at your local store, whatever the case might be, to be able to buy into cryptocurrencies until Bitcoin has reached an astronomical amount of money that it's impossible for one person, normal person, to be able to own an entire Bitcoin. Because what's going to end up happening, I mean, it's kind of very clear. When Bitcoin does eventually get to a certain point and we start having news, wait for it, on the television about people who have become multimillionaires, multi-billionaires, and potentially even one day the first trillionaire because of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, this is when the normal rush will begin to happen. And this is when you'll start to see a lot more ads and stuff like that for people to join Coinbase, because there's a bit of a disconnect. People, for some reason, don't connect fiat and crypto in their head as if they are two completely separate different entities. But don't be mistaken. The exact same ads that you see right now when you walk into your bank to open up an account to get, 7.5% interest rate, so and so, blah, 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 to be able to lend money out and so and so. And so you're going to see the exact same things for Coinbase, for Gemini, for all these other places. They may not have a physical location. This is what I think knocks a lot of people off as far as thinking that there's something completely different. No, these are the new banks. They're going to continue to be the new banks. And it will be necessary for everyone at some point to kind of understand how to control their own money. I know it won't be easy, but yeah, this is going to get very interesting very, very fast, because we have a lot of cryptocurrency projects who are buying into banks, opening their own banks, and then we have other mega entities who are just being and becoming their own version of a digital bank. Yeah, kind of interesting, right? To kind of finish things off, at the moment, I actually held my breath. Bitcoin is above $5,000. The market slumped a little tiny bit. I guess you see a little drop right here. It started going back up. Let's wait and see. Bitcoin Cash is still up. I have no idea why it flies up like that. But at the moment, things are looking pretty okay. A lot of people are saying that the next level of resistance for Bitcoin is 5,500 and then 6,000. I am very happy for where we are right now, and I hope that this does continue. It would be a nice way to end the week, not crossing my fingers too much if we end up above 5,500 or above 6,000 for Bitcoin. All right, everyone, that is definitely going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever in this crazy world you might be. Hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. I do appreciate all of your support. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Vlad the Impaler, Gilboa Snake, Rai, Brady Niels, L Doug, Arthur Yaku, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Nick Mangelavori, Travis Haynes, Yasha Harari, Anthony Charles, Nick Kanaya, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Wise Night Owl, Joey Carafa, Crypto Joe, Jim Gardner, Jared Schneider, Jeremy Fox, Amy Starsheen, Richie Rich the Third, Jeffrey Ramsey, Cody, Carl Birchenoff, Paxis, Jeffrey Dam, Nicholas, One Earth, One Peace, One Love, Setsuna, Minting Coins, Crypnotic, RF Dusty, ShaolinFriedRice.com, Crypto Artist, ColeD3D.com, and SC Verzily Fine Art at scverzily.com. That is SCVERSILLEE.com. Thank you all very much. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.